I'm Susan with Mommy High Five, and today I'm doing a comparison review of the Gabb Watch 3 and the Troomi watch. These are both kid-safe phone watches that allow kids to call or text or send a recorded voice message. Both of them have whitelists, meaning that parents have to approve anyone who contacts or is contacted by the watch. Troomi allows for 50 contacts and Gabb allows for 100 contacts that are approved by parents. Gabb allows for regular text messaging to the watch. So if you are a contact, you can just send a regular text message on your phone that will show up on the Gabb Watch, and vice versa. They will send you a message, it will show up on your phone as a regular text message. With the Troomi, you can only text if you have the Explora app. So if you want to send your child a message, you get into the app and you go into the message section and you text them a message there. When they message you, it also only shows up in the Explora app. So your contacts have to download the app in order to text with the watch. They can receive phone calls as a regular phone call, but if they want to receive a text, they have to have the app. That's one area that I think Gabb, for me, is better. I prefer just dealing with my phone itself and the text messaging rather than having to go through an app. Both have unlimited talk and text. With Troomi, you have to, if the kids want to text, they can only text from 10 preset text messages, which are things like, "Hi, I love you, I'll be home late," those sorts of things. With Gabb, they have up to 20 presets, but they allow parents to go in on the parent app and change what those presets are. So if there are things that you want your child to be able to text to you, you can put those in yourself and customize them to your situation. Now, the Gabb Watch 3 allows children also to type their own text messages. It's got a little keyboard in it that allows kids to type whatever they want to the parents, which is really a great feature. For Troomi, if kids want to text or communicate something to you without calling, and it doesn't fall into one of those 10 text messages, they can send you a voice message. So it's a recorded message of their voice telling you what they want to tell you. Again, that comes only to the app. So you would have to open your app and listen to it there. The GPS on these watch phones are very similar. They're excellent quality. We've found that they're both very accurate. The only real difference is that Troomi allows you to see the history of where your child has been. So it will show you if they're walking around the block, it will show you exactly the path they took and when they were there. With Gabb, you can only see where your child is in the moment. So you can't see where they have been. For me, Troomi is better in this regard. Both watch phones allow you to set up a safe zone. So you decide what area is the safe zone. Maybe it's home, maybe it's school, maybe it's grandma's house, and you can get a notification when your child leaves or enters the safe zone. Those notifications on both of these watches would come through the parent app. The next thing is school modes. So both of these allow you to set up times that your kid is in school mode or focus mode, depending on which device, which means that they don't have access to anything on that device except for contacting parents. Now, with Gabb, you can, in school mode or focus mode, the child can still text the parent or call the parent. With Troomi, they can only contact the parent via SOS call. So they hold down the button on the side of the of the watch, and it makes an SOS call to the parents, which again comes through, you get a notification in the app and it comes through as a call. So in that regard, I like that Gabb allows the kid to send a text message rather than a call, just because sometimes it's more convenient for the child and the parent to have a text rather than a phone call in the middle of the day. Troomi is unusual in that it has a camera, and it can take photos and send them to contacts who have the app, because the photos come through the app. So Gabb does not have a camera on this watch phone. So with Troomi, parents should be aware that anyone on your contact list who has downloaded the app can receive or send photos to your child's watch. Games. The Troomi watch has 0 games on it. The Gabb Watch has a few different game type apps, but they're all limited in the amount of time that kids can be on them a day, and usually it's about 10 minutes. So Gabb has the Gabb Go game, where the kids get a pet and they can earn things for their pet, outfits, tricks, food, different things for their pets by doing chores. So the parents go into the parent app, they put in, maybe the kid has to read for 15 minutes, and the parent decides how many coins they get if they do that activity. So the kid does the chore or the activity and checks it off on their watch. The parent approves that it's been done, and the kid gets coins towards this Gabb Go game. That's something that kids love. Gabb also has the Mimic game, which basically is a memory matching game where the kids have to remember a pattern and type it back onto the phone. That one has a 10-minute per day time limit, but kids enjoy that. Gabb also has Gabb Move, which keeps track of different physical activities that the kids are doing, which some of the older kids are really enjoying that. Troomi does have a step counter, but and kids actually with Troomi can earn coins by their steps and use those in the parent app, which has some games that kids can go on to play. But there are no actual games on Troomi, only in the parent app. The parent app for Troomi, the Explora app, has some limited games and learning app options on the app, but if you want additional ones, then you have to pay a monthly premium. So for me, Gabb wins on this. It's got a couple of little games that are very limited in how long the kids can play, and they seem to enjoy and be motivated to do chores and reading and homework, so forth. The parent apps themselves are very similar in my mind. They're very user-friendly. They're easy to understand. They show how much battery life is left on the watch. The GPS is right there. I think those are very, they're very similar in quality of parent app. As far as watch bands, both watches have several watch bands to choose from. Gabb has a few more fun options. They've got some Star Wars bands and some other themed bands, different colors and so forth, that you can buy separately from the watch. So I prefer Gabb in that regard. The chargers. So the Troomi phone has a micro USB charger on the back of the watch. So there's a little cover that you pull off and you plug in the watch to your charger. The Gabb Watch has a wireless magnetic charger similar to an Apple Watch charger that you just set the watch on top of at night or whenever it needs to charge, and it charges that way. I think both of these chargers are pretty good. Some of the competitors have a charger that is just some open prongs on the back of the watch, and you line it up with the charger. Those have been problematic because they get dirty and then they don't charge so well. I think the Troomi avoids some of that problem because there's a cover that you can, as long as you push the cover back on over the charging port, then you shouldn't have problems with it getting dirty. Battery life. We have found with our own personal use that the Troomi is typically around 18 hours of battery life. Gabb is typically around 24 hours of battery life. For me, that's not that big a difference because we're charging them every night anyway. I know that some people have complained that the Gabb Watch has had poor battery life. That's not what we have experienced. Even on weekends when it's not in school mode, we've not had a problem with that. So I'm not sure if other people just have been starting with maybe a watch that wasn't fully charged for the day, but what we're finding is that it works just fine. Overall, both of these are good options. I think Gabb is better for kids from probably up to about age 10 or 11. Troomi, I think, is probably best for kids up to age 8. Just the fact that kids can type their own text messages on the Gabb, I think, is better for older kids are going to need something like that. So, and I also like that I don't have to use an app with the Gabb. So I think you're going to find great success with both of these watches. Both of them have great cell coverage. Gabb goes through Gabb Wireless. Troomi goes through Troomi Wireless for the actual cell coverage, and both of them are excellent. So overall, I think these are definitely the best 2 phone watches on the market. We've tried competitors' watches as well, and these are definitely the best. So I'm sure whichever you choose will be great for you and your child.